What's up everybody, blessed be, my name is Mannun and you are watching Witch in the Working, where we will be discussing all things witchy in and around, throughout and about, above, below, and beyond. Please visit me on my other platforms as well, including Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon, all linked down in the description below. The full script of this video and most of the others is available on my Patreon account for download. In this growing and diverse world we live in today, where information is at our fingertips and various cultures come together in a blender of shared interest, there's an ever-growing curiosity about ancient beliefs and practices. Among these many practices are the enchanting subjects of demonology and demonolatry. In this video, we're going to talk all about these topics. As with a lot of occult subjects, it's very important to approach them with the respect and an open mind, learning the complexities and differences within both worlds. I know what some of you are saying. Oh no, not demons. Demons are evil and dark and just plain old malevolent. Man, and how can you even bring this subject up? Well, because it's just not true. Yes, the common misconception is usually this, but so is being a witch to a lot of people today. So for those of you who are skeptical, just watch and learn and see a different view on the subjects. What will it hurt to learn something new? Again, witches were and are seen by millions as evil, malevolent, and just all around negative as well, just like demons. So without further ado, let's get started in this and roll the intro. Welcome back everyone. At first perception, both fields involve working with demons. However, the foundation of their focal point is very different. Demonology is the systematic study and classification of demons, examining their origins, characteristics, and influence on human affairs. Think of it as a scientific approach, diving deep into the historical, theological, and mythological aspects of these entities. On the other hand, demonolatry involves the veneration or worship of demons. It's more of an experiential path wherein practitioners seek and discover a bonding or connection with these powerful beings. Imagine you're interested in studying and learning about animals. There are two different approaches people can take when it comes to animals. One is the animal scientist. This person wants to understand animals scientifically. They study their behavior, biology, and how they interact with their environment. They might become a biologist or a zoologist and try to learn everything they can about animals to explain how they work. The second person is an animal lover. This person loves animals and wants to show them respect and care in a different way. They might volunteer at an animal shelter, adopt pets, and build a strong emotional connection with animals. Their focus is on loving and appreciating animals rather than studying them scientifically. Now let's apply this idea to the terms demonologist and demonolator. A demonologist is someone who approaches demons like an academic scientist. They are interested in studying demons from a scholarly or intellectual perspective. They might research the history, mythology, and cultural beliefs about demons. They want to understand what people have said and written about demons throughout history. A demonolator, on the other hand, is more like an emotional lover of demons, but not in a scary way. They have a strong connection or reverence for demons as spiritual beings. Instead of studying demons like a demonologist, they might want to communicate with, worship, or show respect to demons as part of their religious or spiritual beliefs. So in simple terms, a demonologist studies demons like a scientist studies animals, while a demonolator has a deep connection or reverence for demons, kind of like someone who loves and cares for animals. Both approaches are different and can lead to different ways of understanding and interacting with demons, depending on a person's beliefs and interests. One thing is important to note before we delve deeper into these subjects. A common misconception exists that in discussing or studying these subjects, it doesn't necessarily mean advocating for their practice or belief. Just as a historian might study ancient warfare without promoting violence, exploring demonology or demonolatry doesn't imply endorsement. It's about understanding and educating oneself, not advocating. Also, it's important to shed light on the fact that beliefs and practices around these subjects can be very different amongst individuals and cultures. While Hollywood and pop culture have their perceptions of demons, many times painting them with a broad brush of malevolence and trickery, traditional understandings can be much more subtle. For some of us, demons might represent malevolent entities, and for others, they are neutral beings or even sources of guidance. As we journey down this path of enlightenment, please tread carefully. The reason I mention this is because these subjects, especially demonolatry, are a deeply personal endeavor for many. Mocking, trivializing, or sensationalizing them isn't very respectful to those in the occult world who work proudly with these entities and systems. With this in mind, let's journey together into the realm of demonology and demonolatry, seeking to enlighten our understanding and challenge our preconceptions. Throughout the centuries, the world was abound with beliefs in spirits, deities, and supernatural entities. Many of these beings have laid the foundation for cultural, religious, and philosophical societies around the world. Among the thousands of entities worshipped and/or feared by humanity, demons have always held a unique and many times controversial place in our existence. Through a historical lens, one can witness the shifting perceptions of demons from ancient civilizations to modern-day understandings. Let's explore the origins and evolutions of demonology and demonolatry, two distinct yet closely associated fields of study. In ancient Mesopotamia, demons were often seen as creatures of chaos and disease. Demons like the Pazuzu were highly feared but also called upon as protectors against other malevolent forces. In ancient Egypt, while not demons in the Christian sense, many supernatural entities were important to this culture's cosmology. These beings could be both benevolent and malevolent, portraying intricate roles in myths and daily life. In Greco-Roman civilizations, demons were considered spirits or minor deities capable of both good and evil. Of special interest is the demon of Socrates, which he described as a voice guiding his actions. At the start of Christian theology, it repersonified many pagan gods and spirits as demons, hence the saying that the gods of the old religion become the demons of a new. Over the years, a well-structured hierarchy of demons led by Satan was created, largely influenced by works like Dante's Inferno. In medieval Europe, this period of time saw a heightened fear of witches and their supposed pacts with demons and/or the devil. Old texts like the Malleus Maleficarum became a foundational guide in the witch hunts, expressing the dangers of demonic pacts and possession. During the Renaissance times, while the fascination in demons continued, this period of time was marked by a shift towards a more skeptical and rational view of the world. Demonology was still studied, but often with a critical and careful attitude. Today's understanding is multifaceted and on many levels. While traditional religious views on demons remain, there's also an ever-growing interest in understanding these entities from a psychological, metaphorical, and cultural view. Demonology throughout the centuries has often been a scholarly study and journey, if you will, with its goal to capture, discover, and sometimes counteract the influence of demons. This system of study became particularly popular throughout the Middle Ages and Renaissance, where scholars and theologians struggled to classify demonic hierarchies and understand their roles in the cosmos. Demonolatry, on the other hand, is an ancient practice with foundations and roots that touch various cultures and societies. The honoring of spirits, which could in fact be labeled as demonic by other religions, has been a reality of human spirituality for thousands of years. From the ancient cults of Mesopotamia to the more modern practices of many occult groups, demon worship has been a part of the human spiritual world, offering practitioners a direct communication with these powerful beings. At its core, demonology is the systematic study and classification of demons. It's a multifaceted field bringing together pieces from theology, folklore, mythology, and even psychology. Within the realms of theology, demonology usually focuses on the nature and hierarchy of demons. In Christian theology, for example, demons are typically seen as fallen angels who rebelled against God. Within folk tales expressed by various cultures, these stories are full of demons, each having unique attributes, motives, and powers. These tales often serve as stories to be careful or give meaning to natural phenomena that usually would go unexplained. In mythological circles, ancient civilizations had diverse pantheons wherein certain gods or entities might be perceived as demonic by other cultures. Demonology, in this perception, helps in understanding the roles these beings played in various myths. In the world of demonolatry, this practice involves the veneration or worship of demons. It's an active, often ritualistic engagement with these entities. Many ancient religions had deities or spirits that, while not evil in their cultural essence, might be labeled demonic by outsiders. The honoring of such entities was important to these traditions. In more modern situations, some occult practitioners engage in demonolatry to capture the perceived powers of demons or to seek guidance and insight from them. It's very important to understand that demonolatry is absolutely not about the worship of evil, so to speak. Practitioners of demonolatry often see demons as neutral or misunderstood entities, not necessarily evil and malevolent. The focus is on reverence, understanding, and sometimes partnership. While both terms center around demons, their nature and intent are not the same. Demonology is largely academic and analytical. It's about understanding demons from a distance, so to speak. Demonolatry, on the other hand, is about direct, often personal engagement, a lot like honoring a god or goddess like so many of us are familiar with. Demonologists seek knowledge and understanding of the world of demons and how they are classified and their functions. Along with this, they also sometimes protect against demonic influences. Demonolators, people who worship demons, aim to connect with these entities, often pursuing empowerment, insight, or spiritual fulfillment. So let's take a deeper dive into the world of demonology specifically. Throughout the centuries, the concept of demons has astounded, frightened, and confused humanity. This wonderment created demonology, the systematic study of demons, their hierarchies, and their interactions with the human realm. Not just a king, but also a scholar, King James I of England wrote Demonology in the late 16th century. This text was a composition that dove deep into witchcraft, necromancy, and other perceived demonic practices. His efforts played a role in the witch trials of his time, reflecting the terrors and ideologies of that time in history. One series of books that many of us are familiar with, or at least have heard of from time to time, is the Lesser Key of Solomon, and to break it down a little further, the Goetia to be specific. Goetia or Goetia, both pronunciations are fine for those of you who are going to nitpick it. I'm nipping it in the bud right now. Tomato, tomato. Some say Goetia, some say Goetia. I've even heard that in Europe they say Goetia, and here in America they say Goetia. Bottom line is, both pronunciations are fine. Just like Athame, Atham, Athame, Adame. Come on, give me a break, people. Widely explored as a comprehensive grimoire, a manual of magic, if you will, I've personally worked extensively with this book, especially when I lived in Florida. I worked with a group called the Goetic Knights, and we used the Goetia as a foundation for our practice at the time. The book's detailed account of demonology and the rituals it provides on summoning these entities puts it at the root of many discussions related to these types of arcane arts. The Lesser Key of Solomon, also known as the Lemegeton, is believed to have been written sometime in the 17th century, but its contents are from much older sources. It is sometimes improperly attributed to King Solomon in the Bible, as were many works of magic in an attempt to legitimize them. In reality, the text is likely the work of multiple authors drawing from various traditions and earlier text. The Lemegeton is divided into 5 books. One is the Ars Goetia. This is the most famous part that most of us know about. It provides a list of 72 demons, their descriptions, hierarchies, and the symbols or sigils associated with them. It also includes rituals on how to summon and command these entities. The second book is Ars Theurgia Goetia. This book talks about spirits of a less intense nature, detailing their roles and providing rituals to summon them. The third book, Ars Paulina, focuses on angelology, detailing the angels associated with each of the zodiac signs and the hours of the day. The fourth book, Ars Amadel, provides rituals and instruction on creating the Amadel, a wax tablet used for summoning angels and the procedures for working with it. Finally, the fifth book, Ars Notoria, offers prayers and orations to obtain knowledge and understanding in various arts and sciences. This section differs significantly in nature from the others, focusing more on self-improvement than direct evocation. The Ars Goetia, with its very specific clarification on hierarchy of demons, is very much a cornerstone in Western demonology. Many of the most well-known demons in pop culture, like King Paimon and Duke Astaroth and, of course, Prince Visago, have detailed descriptions in this book. The Goetia offers not just names and ranks, but also specific attributes, abilities, and the number of legions each demon commands. The sigils associated with each demon, intricate symbols believed to be essential in their summoning, are also detailed. Because of its focus on evocation and the summoning and commanding of demonic entities, the Lesser Key of Solomon has been a text of both fascination and concern. While some occult practitioners see it as a treasured tool, others regard it with caution, emphasizing the potential dangers of evoking such powerful entities. While its authenticity as a direct work of King Solomon is argued, its effects on the world of the occult and pop culture is absolutely undeniable. For those of you who are interested in demonology, it gives us an invaluable peek into a realm abound with hierarchies, rituals, and arcane symbols. Within Christian realms, demonology has been wide-ranging. Over the centuries, theologians attempted to classify demons based on their roles, powers, and hierarchies. Some are seen as tempters, others as punishers, and some hold ranks reminiscent of angelic hierarchies. In Islamic theology, jinn are supernatural beings created from smokeless fire. While not necessarily demons in a Christian sense, they can be benevolent, neutral, or malevolent. Yokei are supernatural monsters, spirits, and demons in Japanese folklore. Yokei are vast, from malevolent entities to those that are more benign or even beneficial. While often seen and associated through a religious view, demonology travels into various realms. Some modern discoveries consider demons as manifestations of human fears, desires, or psychological traumas. This concept basically explains that these demons are all part of our human psyche and not outside separate entities. And the alternative is, of course, those who see them as forces or energies, neither good nor evil, but rather as tools or challenges for spiritual evolution and very much individual entities that are separate and independent from our consciousness. Regardless, whether approached as a believer, a skeptic, or a curious observer, demonology offers a fascinating journey into the shadows, challenging our perceptions and beliefs at every turn. In the depths of occult and spiritual practices, demonolatry definitely shows itself as one of the most unique and misunderstood paths that delves into the shadows. Many times misunderstood with evil or malevolent intentions and usually associated with satanic worship, demonolatry is in reality an elaborate practice centered around veneration of certain entities, often labeled as demons. While the term demonolatry may to some be seen as relatively modern, the act of venerating powerful, non-divine entities traces back thousands of years. Many ancient cultures from Mesopotamia to Greece honored deities or spirits that in later understandings were labeled as demonic due to cultural or religious beliefs. Amongst the prevailing Christian mentality, there was still underground movements and groups that evoked certain spirits for personal empowerment, knowledge, or magical mastery. Unlike popular misunderstandings passed around, demonolators see demons as neutral forces, neither naturally evil nor good. These entities possess knowledge, power, and attributes that practitioners seek to understand or harness. Interacting with these entities requires respect, not subservience. The goal is to form a mutual bond wherein both the magician and the entity benefit from the engagement. Like many magical practices, demonolatry involves elaborate rituals to either invoke, call within oneself, or evoke, call forth outside oneself, specific entities. Sigils, symbolic representations of entities, are often used in rituals as a focal point or a gateway, if you will. To show respect and forge a bond, practitioners often give offerings which can range from incense to food or even blood in certain traditions. Many times, that's one of the key questions asked of an entity is, what does it like as an offering? This way, when continuing forward, you can have any specific offering ready for any particular demon. Today's practice of demonolatry has evolved, influenced by various modern occult movements. Modern-day demonolators often pull from a variety of pantheons, not just the traditional Ars Goetia from the Lesser Key of Solomon as we talked about earlier. Incorporating elements from Wicca, Thelema, or chaos magic, present-day demonolatry is highly individualistic. As I mentioned earlier with the group I was working with, the Goetic Knights, we actually took some of the summonings from the Goetia and worked them to be less demanding and not so rude to the demons. Also, much of the ritual in the Goetia is very Abrahamic in wording and ideology. A lot of God and God this and God that. We worked some of the conjurations to be more pagan in idea, which fit our beliefs much better, making our incantations more comfortable for us. The digital age has allowed practitioners from around the world to share experiences, techniques, and insights, further enriching the practice as well. Let's talk about major misconceptions regarding demonology and demonolatry practices. Demonology nor demonolatry, both are not Satanism. While there's some overlap, these paths and Satanism are distinct paths. Not all demonolators venerate Satan, and not all Satanists engage in the veneration of various demons. These practices challenge the binary notions of good and evil. They emphasize understanding and engagement rather than fear. All demons are evil. Every demon is inherently evil, out to harm or deceive humans. No. In both demonology and demonolatry, many entities classified as demons are considered neutral or even good by nature. Their way of being often comes from ancient gods, spirits, or entities from various cultures, later inheriting a label as demonic by opposing religions or societies. Demonology promotes worship of demons. Some say that demonologists worship or venerate demons. Truth is, demonology is primarily an academic study. It seeks to classify, understand, and sometimes counteract demonic entities. While some may experiment into practical workings, worship is not the primary focus. Demonolatry is by nature dark or malevolent, and demonolators practice harmful magic and curses. This can be true, just like witches can do the same. Demonolatry at its basis is about reverence and forming relationships with certain entities. While some practitioners might perform hexes or curses, this is not a defining characteristic of the practice. Again, no more than a witch or a magician who chooses to engage in these darker acts. Demons are a Judeo-Christian concept only and are exclusive to Judeo-Christian beliefs. This is far from the truth. The concept of powerful, non-divine entities exists in many cultures worldwide. The term demon has been applied across numerous contexts, often stemming from misunderstandings or attempts to demonize foreign deities. Again, same as witches in this manner. Look at how many Christian societies demonize witchcraft and the occult as a whole without even understanding it. All demon interactions are dangerous. Engaging with demons in study or practice invariably leads to possession or harm. Not necessarily true. While respect and caution are advised in any spiritual or occult practice, many demonolators and demonologists have safe and beneficial interactions. Protective measures, experience, and intent play crucial roles just like any other practice in the occult. Demonology is the same worldwide. This is not true. Demonology differs significantly according to cultural, religious, and historical backgrounds. A known demon to be feared in one tradition might be revered and honored in another. Only gifted individuals can engage with demons. You need to be a born psychic or inherently gifted to study or practice demonology or demonolatry. While some individuals might have a head start above others, many practitioners are confident that with dedication, study, and practice, most all can be quite successful working in these realms. Demonolatry as a spiritual path offers a unique journey into self-exploration, empowerment, and understanding of forces beyond mainstream religious teachings. While it might not be a path for everyone, for those who journey within its shadows, demonolatry offers an amazing world of experiences and insights. So, what are some of the major differences between demonology and demonolatry? The purpose of demonology is primarily an academic or theological study. Demonology seeks to classify, understand, and sometimes combat or control demonic entities. It often focuses on the categorization of demons, their hierarchies, roles, and influences upon the world. The purpose of demonolatry is in fact a religious or spiritual practice. Demonolatry is about honoring and forming relationships with certain entities termed as demons. Most who practice demonolatry engage in rituals, giving offerings, and work ceremonies to honor these spirits, seeking their guidance, wisdom, or assistance. Demonology is research-based. It utilizes ancient texts, scriptures, and folklore to gather knowledge and learn all about demons. In some practices, one may learn to ward off or exorcise demonic entities as well, considering you should never ever conjure up that which you cannot get rid of. On the flip side, demonolatry is very ritualistic in a sense of working ceremonies, invocations, and giving offerings to connect with the demonic. Unlike the demonologist who will conjure a demon to work with it and ask it for material, spiritual, and magical gains, the demonolator seeks to work alongside these entities for mutual benefits and honor them as opposed to commanding them. A demonologist often views demons as neutral entities or adversaries depending on the cultural or religious context. He or she treats demons as external beings to be understood, categorized, or combated. A demonolator perceives demons as worthy of respect and honor. He or she emphasizes personal spiritual growth and understanding through interactions with these entities, working alongside them much like one would honor a god or goddess in Wicca. While both demonology and demonolatry revolve around the realm of the demonic, their core differences lie in approach, objective, and philosophy. One is a study, a quest for understanding, while the other is a practice, a path of veneration and collaboration. Recognizing these distinctions is crucial for anyone delving into the world of the occult, and especially into these practices, as the approach to each is very different and not to be taken lightly. In the complex realms of human spirituality and esoteric study, demonology and demonolatry are seen as two of the most intriguing and mysterious practices. They push the boundaries of mainstream religious understanding and challenge deeply held notions about morality, divinity, and the nature of existence. Across this wonderful planet Earth, from ancient Sumer to modern urban societies, humans have contemplated the idea of powerful entities beyond traditional gods and goddesses. Whether in reverence or study, this universal concept is shared by human curiosity and desire to connect with the unseen and the unexplained. Both demonology and demonolatry question the strict dichotomies of good and evil. By understanding the neutral or even benevolent nature of some entities, typically labeled as demons, these practices call us to take another look at our own deeply held beliefs and biases. While demonology might chart classifications and demonolatry may offer rituals at their heart, both are deeply personal. Each practitioner's experience is unique, shining a light on the subjective nature of spiritual truth. While both areas are rich in insights and experiences, they also emphasize the importance of approaching the unknown with respect. Caution, protection, and continuous learning are paramount, ensuring safe and enriching encounters. In today's modern times of technology and science, there's a growing resurrection of interests in the esoteric. Demonology and demonolatry, through online forums, books, and communities, shows proof of humanity's never-ending quest for knowledge, transcending the boundaries of time. As with any spiritual or esoteric practice, there's an absolute necessity for open dialogue and sharing with others. By dispelling misconceptions, sharing experiences, and promoting understanding, practitioners and scholars can bring about a more inclusive and respectful discussion and understanding on these subjects. As we journey on the many paths of human spirituality, hopefully we do so with an open heart and an inquisitive mind, ever eager to explore the vastness of all magical realms. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of Witch in the Working. How do you feel about demonology and demonolatry? Do you or have you ever practiced either one? Let us all know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to ring that little bell to be reminded of the wonderful and exciting future episodes to come. I love you guys and gals. Blessed be.